I want to read bits of an article from The Hill I just found, and then I'll share my thoughts. Because it's kind of interesting, and the same time, I feel it's kind of pointless. The Biden administration announced today that it released the first ever United States strategy on countering corruption, which focuses on preventing bad actors using the U.S. and international financial systems to hide assets and launder money. Now, that was the first paragraph of the Hill's article here. On the surface, seems like a good plan. Let me continue. The 38-page plan to crack down on corruption was released ahead of the virtual Summit for Democracy, which the Biden administration is hosting on Thursday and Friday and will include over 100 participants from governments, civil society, and the private sector. That's where I personally get to the point where I honestly stop caring. Because the second I hear the private sector is involved in most things government-based, you tend to be able to think they're going to be able to weasel their way into anything. Now, that's just not always true, and you should always go in with a more heavier critique. But this is an area I don't know much about, and those are my initial feelings that it gives me. It says the pillars also include curbing illicit finance through steps like issuing beneficial ownership transparency regulations to identify bad actors and enacting first of their kind regulations surrounding real estate transactions to reveal when real estate is used to hide ill-gotten cash or to launder criminal proceedings. So basically what this would say is that they're going to try to implement measures to make it easier to find out if foreign criminals or any bad actors altogether are buying up property using cash that has either got some bad blood on it or just was bought and traded illegally, and so this is how they're cleaning it. In a sense, they're using bad funds to buy good property. So the argument is that they're trying to stop that. Here comes my initial issue with this, because the attempt is to keep all these bad actors away by defending ourselves. But the thing that initially draws people in is the fact that our housing market, and the housing market in general, is so lucrative. It shouldn't be a market altogether, because housing should be seen at this point as a universal right. Given our ability to reason and advance our societies long enough, it should at least be understood that certain values and certain technologies and principles that have stood the test of time should become a standard right given to people. It's not like we're the only ones who discovered how to build a house. So, given the fact that it's been, hundreds of thousands of years, we should understand housing as it has helped our lives unequivocally be better than if we were to live out in temporary housings or be nomadic or have very fragile housing situations or have to find natural enclosures that would house us well. You would never be able to thrive that way. And yet we still make it something that you have to compete for. So if we eliminated the issue of the housing market altogether by instead seeing housing for Americans as an unequivocal right, we would be able to eliminate all these issues altogether without having to implement what seems to be costly and pointless measures. This is going to be a waste in my eyes. Now, there is some good actions that can come out of this, I believe, but again, this is all in areas I'm not personally well versed in. But like I said, it doesn't seem like something that's going to matter too much to the common man when there's so much better options that we could be exploring.